throwing for skins money that we're going to see. Miro at Miro at mydonations.com. That sounds accurate. And we are going live right here. Kiss me, this is going to be a great match. And let's see exactly what Team Eclipse can do. They're on the special infected first. They have a spitter, jockey, charger, and a smoker for this first hit.
Indeed. So we'll see a jockey sitting on top of the sign, charger on top of the little billboard up ahead, and it looks like the smoker might be trying to pull from the tree. Spitter obviously saying way back he doesn't want to get picked off too early here in the attack, and it looks like the SI will go ahead and reposition. Smoker and charger both behind the tree. Jockey up on top of the billboard sign above them. Smoker going for the pull on El's gonna find it. Jockey missing the spawn though, gonna drop in behind Rochelle. The spitter does go down top of the charge as well. El's gonna eat a lot of spit damage from that attack, and Thug Life taking around 30 damage from that first hit there. So definitely a good start there from Team Eclipse.
I honestly thought that was going to be more because they got that pull charge and spit to land, but at the same point in time, I think they managed to clear everything off and he was able to slide out of that spit before he took a whole lot of damage. Obviously, the pings here are an interesting discrepancy between the two teams. Obviously, a little bit in favor of Team Eclipse, but actually not by a whole lot. So this should be a fairly even match in terms of that. We have a smoker, a boomer, a spitter, and a charger. So another charger, smoker, spitter combination here, and it looks as though Helheim is debating to go to the campsite or not. They know they have the chance for upgraded weapons up there, but it looks like they're just going to keep pushing down to the Humvee, Kiss Me, and trying to take the bridge hit.
Indeed, and obviously we do have a witch here stationed at the bridge. Coach looking like he wants to go for the pole, but the survivors will first go ahead and take the roundabout way up towards the camp. Smoke actually going to spawn up on Coach. Tongue barely breaking on the hillside there. That would have been detrimental there to actually Team Helheim if that pole connected fully. That was really close.
That was close to being really, really good. Nice pop by Miro onto that boomer as well. So now, instead of the survivors being out of position, the SI are floundering a little bit, and they really need to decide what they want to do here because that witch is in a position where they probably could capitalize on, and they're actually going to see the crown going in. Beautiful crown by Miro onto that witch, running up and getting a very quick draw. And they actually might even push up before that last spawn is in the queue. Indeed, they are. It's going to be a smoker, a jockey. The charger is going to go in there. Imagine to take another pull target right there. So the second pull charge spit of the game spread, not really favorable though. So, okay chip damage, but at the same point in time, both teams going back and forth. Both teams are making really good plays.
Indeed, I mean, you said beautiful crown there by Miro on that witch, obviously, but I don't know if that was a beautiful crown. That was definitely a saving last pan hit there, though, on that witch, because Miro kind of botched that witch crown, but his fellow survivors were able to get some good damage on the witch, and he bought up the pan and got that last hit on there to bring her down. But anyway, Boomer going out on the billboard sign, gonna latch onto Coach, so that's gonna bring a little bit of horde into play here, though. Two cars up on top of the roof. Rochelle kind of surrounded right now by cars. Tank up in the hands of K3. We have both war rooms, so we could toss it over. What do you think?
We have both? Okay, then we can take it over. I think we should give it to an Eclipse worm here, because K3 is using his hittable power to... Actually, never mind, we just gotta pause.
Indeed.
So, I was gonna say toss it over there, because K3 has hittables, and... the way he's positioned them so far, he's going to try to hit one on top of the bridge and keep one on the roof so that no matter where the survivors kite, they're going to have to deal with the hittable. And honestly, this tank can be pretty bad for the special infected DDoS restart. I don't... Okay.
I don't know if a restart is in the cards there.
Yeah, because being DDoS at that point, I mean... Okay, I think he meant he's going to restart, but this could turn out to be... What's that word? Dangerous for the survivors, because if he's like stuck and the tank's in a position to hit the car up there, we could see some... I don't know, this is the kind of part... This is the parts that I really don't like. Yeah, I think that's what Team Eclipse is finding out too, and that the car is in the air at the same point in time, so...
I mean, if you look at the current positioning on the survivor side, you can see Nick way back in the bridge there. So he is actually the farthest away from actually getting onto that billboard sign and transferring over to the top of the hotel. So he's in a pretty bad spot just as of right now. The saving grace, though, is that car is going to land kind of underneath the bridge. So it's going to take probably 2 or 3 hits for the tank to actually get it back on top of the highway. So he's going to have some time to move around once he reconnects. Hopefully he's not stuck. And if he is stuck, hopefully he can notify the SI quickly enough and they can not throw the car at his face while he's unable to move. For those of you that wondering what we mean when we say stuck, in Pro Mod, especially on 60 tick, 100 tick servers, whenever you load back into a game when it's paused, you have a like 50% chance of being stuck where you are for a what is it, like 15 or 20 seconds. There's not really much that you can do. You can kind of spectate and hop back in the server, hop back on survivors, but still there's no guarantee that you'll be able to move. So it's kind of a it's kind of an iffy thing, and it's unfortunate, but we haven't been able to fix that as of yet.
Your chat is saying that they're going to have a drinking game where they take a drink whenever you say indeed.
Indeed. Yeah, they were talking about it yesterday. They were like, you say indeed a lot. And I'm like, I just say what's on my mind. Like, I don't try and phrase things unless I'm really messing up analogies. Then I try and phrase them, but I just mess them up more by doing that.
I don't know. I mean, there was just the analogies that you've been able to come up with. I just like Burn in this sense, but besides that, I mean, we haven't really had an episode like that in a while. And if Miro would get back in the server, that would be great because what is it? The ability to talk about the card that's suspended. And you know what? If it's a K3 hittable, I wouldn't be surprised if this gets like, the way K3's hittable tanks go, if that car like ricochets off the bridge and like flies towards the survivors' faces, I really wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, let's just hope that doesn't happen though. But we are currently still waiting for Miro to reconnect. I don't believe we've had any notification of him coming back. No, not yet.
Still, he's online. He's not in L4D2 right now, but there has been an issue where Miro has been receiving some of the DDoS treatment, which I think you mentioned on another cast. I don't know if I was there or not. I've been watching it, where it's like people actually still DDoS in this game, which still surprises me, actually.
Yeah, I don't know where the joy of that comes into play. Yeah. Oh, that's a drink for one of you, or all of you. What do you guys say in chat? Meat burgers? Oh yeah, the hot
Miro's
dog
coming
stand.
back.
Oh yeah, I just saw him lit up too. Yeah, the hot dog stand has meat burgers also written on it.
Oh my
Who
gosh.
wants a juicy meat burger?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Please, we had enough. Listen, in the Paragon versus... Fine, I'll call them AG. In the Paragon versus AG game, we had the amount of times we said cuck in that cast, and then even 45 was getting into it, like...
She changed her name to like cuck me or something.
To cuck me, yeah. Well, the same one. That's the same one I used in the whatevers on the Swamp Fever game that my team played. But Miro is now back in the game, so we can stop talking about cucking meat and everything else. We are going to be going live. We'll see if he is stuck or not, and then we will take this over to a worm after we determine that. Tank is backing off a little bit, and I do believe he is not yet in the game. Okay, he's stuck. He's totally stuck. He's totally stuck. Okay, this is really awkward. Now he's unstuck, and the tank is backing off. They said ready. Let's take it over to a Team Eclipse worm right now, Kiss Me, because this is going to be real good.
Let's kick it over.
You're gonna drop on the road?
It's fine.
Get ready.
You should commit.
You haven't split up.
Good job.
Killing
Take
us.
that kill. Take that kill. Should we go in to help? No,
Wait,
we
wait.
can wait. Good job. We're spawned though.
I'm getting despawned.
That was really close. I can't despawn, so I'm just gonna have to chill.
We're spawned up. Recommit. Let's go. They're gonna go all the way back.
Car's on the bridge.
That's
They're going
big.
back.
I'm getting a despawn.
Okay, I just have to chase.
Oh my god.
We're going all the way back, mate.
Can I beat them? Jockey races. Yeah.
What the fuck's going on?
They're chilling, dude.
This is gonna work. No, they're beating me. I can't despawn.
Fudge, I missed my
Are
spawn.
you guys going in? Fuck.
I'm chilling.
Are you?
We can go in now.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm gonna be kind of late, so I have to catch them.
Fuck, I slid off the car.
Can you just keep
Okay.
steady?
Yeah, probably should. They're gonna push it now.
They should
Gotta get
run
out
if
of
you
there.
can.
Yeah. Jump. Crouch jump.
Oof.
I'm
Crouch
trying.
jump. Spacebar control.
Oh shit. That.
Stay alive, stay alive, stay alive.
Oh, yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, dude. Forget your life.
He's dead, leave him.
That's AI.
AI.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Good.
We're going to bring it back over here to the Castle War Room for the end of this tank. It only has 1,000 HP left. It's AI, obviously. But still a good tank there by K3, the hittable god, getting that kill on the Vector there right outside of the hotel on the highway, kind of. So a good tank by him nonetheless. And that will put the possibility of a tri-cap into the realm of possibilities.
Indeed it will, and this tri-cap is coming in right now. Jockey is going to land, but the Hunter actually takes the Jockey's target, and then the tank kills the Hunter, getting a Rage Rock for our friend, the AI tank here. Interesting call by Helheim to take it all the way back through the map, but yeah, after that pause got resolved, it did not look good for K3 due to the fact he was standing there right next to the survivors, like, as they were a little bit shooting him, like, trying to go like that push and pull back and forth until Miro was unstuck, but then he transitioned to the roof and got the car hit on Coach as he was transitioning out. And that was a fantastic job by Team Eclipse then to take advantage of that positioning. And now Helheim, because they went back with 3 survivors, they're going to have to retake the entire map. It's going to be a Charger, Boomer, Smoker, and a Spitter. So no tri-cap on this, but kiss me, it's been a good round so far for Eclipse's SI.
Yeah, most certainly. I mean, if you look over at Thug Life's HP, it's down the yellow. Nice proxy boom there onto Thug Life. Might be the cause of this attack to actually go in here. They have those 2 cappers plus a spitter, smoke charger, and a spit. So we will see if they decide to go. It looks like they're not going to. It looks like they're going to reposition actually onto the bridge. Wait for that 4th spawn to come up, which will be a capper because the boomer obviously just sacked itself onto Thug Life. So they will have another tri-cap potential here, but let's see if they can actually make it happen.
They're going to try for it here. Pretty nice position for them to try and do it because the spawns can come from up top, and that's indeed what we're seeing right now. We're going to have that smoker going in. The jockey already got obliterated. Charger going in as well, trying to land the intercept, but that was a good job with a quick shutdown on that jockey, plus very quick clears by Team Helheim. And they could still 3-man this map, Kiss Me. It's not exactly, like, difficult for players of their caliber to stick together and try to do that.
No, it's most certainly not. I mean, if you can just focus down one of the SI, that's really all you have to do to shut down the tri-cap. You have to either go and push the hunter or jockey or whatever really drops in first, just mow it down, and then you leave it to 2 SI up. And then the most that will actually happen is obviously a double cap with spit on top of it, which is the worst case scenario, but it negates entirely the possibility of, you know, the round ending right there due to the tri-cap. But we'll see Team Helheim moving the way up on top of the second story here of the motel building. Hunter Jockey working the way in. Boomer from below, missing the boom out on Nick in the back room. Jockey does latch on to Ellis. Hunter looking for maybe a separation pounce. Actually will grab Thug Life inside the spit outside the window. So that's going to be a good amount of damage. Boomer proxying Thug Life back away from the spit, or the death spit I should say. And that will be then an attack, but Thug Life losing the rest of his permanent HP. Super being dropped down into the 40 range, I believe, of solid. Obviously, he has a bunch of temporary, though, on himself.
Yeah, and I think the most important part of that is that you saw the most damage possible coming out from that 2-2. Obviously, they managed to get some kind of stumble. They got the caps to get on top of each other to stack in that situation, so Eclipse is making literally every hit count at this point, and they need to try to do that more. Like, there is a huge fascination for, okay, let's try to go for the tri-cap, but even if they're getting damage, just play it as you would normally in that sense. Just don't try to get, like, too over-focused on getting the tri-cap on players like this, because if they that actually might decrease their ability of getting damage on them if they're trying to just go for the tri-cap every time.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. You could have, obviously, as you just mentioned, everyone going for a singular target when you definitely have just a good pull charge or something to work with. But, you know, the charger gets a little greedy. He wants to tri-cap. He wants to end it. So instead he goes for a charge. He misses, and then the attack's completely thwarted, pretty much.
It's as though Team Helheim is debating as to whether or not they want to just throw the bio, and I think they indeed they have. They actually threw it into a spot where the common are going to glitch, so they're not going to be able to kill the common, and they're all just going to keep staying down there. They're going to drop right now. Molotov going out the back. Charger getting a nice charge on the survivor who was down there. That is bonus, with a spit going down on top of that as well. Jockey's going to take that survivor back into the spit, and here we go. Nice 2-cap going out. Super is going to be the only one with permanent bonus left, and this is exactly what I'm talking about, Kiss Me. They didn't try to go for the tri-cap. They just went for the damage, and it paid off so well for them.
Yeah, that was beautifully played there by Eclipse. Getting a lot of damage out, taking Miro's HB completely away. He was the only green survivor left. Super even being dropped down into the middle yellow about. So we will see if they can actually make it to the safe room here. They still have 2 sets of pills left on themselves, so they have plenty of health to actually make it happen. But if they eat another attack like that, they'll probably suffer an in-cap from it, and you know, that could definitely open up the possibility for another attack, which will lead to the wipe, possibly. But attack coming in. Smoker's tongue being broken on the rock on Nick. So Nick having a little bit of free time
There's
here.
the free cap. Oh my god, that was so close. Miro got the clear on the smoker. That's infuriating to have happen. But the other 2 cappers did land Kiss Me. I thought that was the wipe right there. I thought that was going to be it. But Miro made a play on that smoker. But that's a death going out by that hunter and that horse. This could actually still be the wipe.
Indeed, and that was incredibly close, as you mentioned. Miro getting that last-second clear on the smoker by himself. And, I mean, that smoker could have had it. Unfortunately, his tongue broke the first time he threw it out onto Nick. On the very tip of the rock, it just snapped the tongue off. But now we see only 2 survivors left, obviously, with the death going out onto Thug Life. So now they have 3 cappers, and only 2 of them needing to land. But here we go. It's going to be a jockey, smoker, spitter, and a charger. Smoker looking for a tongue. It's broken yet again. They're going to go shut down the smoker as quick as they can. Jockey looking to latch on to Nick here. Going to get M2'd away. Charger going for it. Does land it. Smoker grabbing onto actually Rochelle, but the tongue getting cut by him. So 1 capper has managed to land, but the smoker going for the pole. Gonna get its tongue broken yet again. Rochelle holding strong here in the face of it, but the 3rd time is the charm, and that will be the double cap happening onto Team Helheim. And Eclipse putting their foot down here on the 1st round.
That was a great special infected round by Team Eclipse. The tank did exactly what he needed to do in the sense he just took what the survivor team gave him, and at this level, it really matters just what the Infected can do in order to take advantage of the Survivor mistakes. That's really how you play good Infected at this level, and between these two teams, it's going to be really up to Team Eclipse now on the Survivor side to play a little bit tighter, not get separated, have no hittables land on them, and then try to make it to the safe room with bonus. And it was interesting because Wardle Noise and I were casting a game yesterday, and we mentioned that map 1 isn't usually a deciding factor because of the fact that there's a large potential for making up that score differential in the later maps. But if I'm Team Eclipse, screw that common logic. We're going to try to get as many points as we possibly can on this first map. If they can get like 800 or 900 points, that would be a huge motivational boost for the start of this match.
Most certainly. I mean, once again, Helheim's just one of those teams that you don't want to be close with going into the final map. If you can, you want to be at least 1,000 points ahead of them going into the last map, because they're one of those teams that will push out that 1,000 point punch in the final map. They have that very incredible possibility of doing that. But regardless, round is live now. Eclipse over on the Survivor half, with obviously the SI being held by Team Helheim. Smoker getting shot down immediately, charging on a whiff his charge. Jockey looking for a latch on someone, not going to find it though. Eats the shotgun of Nick. And that Spitter not going to have any luck either. And that's the first attack completely demolished by Team Eclipse. Maybe that 2v2 earlier is going to pay off.
Might. I mean, and the Eclipse also prepared for this game, obviously, due to the fact that they know this is the do or die. They need to get to 4-2, and then, like I said, there are going to be a lot of teams either at 4-2, 3-3, 5-1 at the end of this. The 3-3 teams won't be able to make it, but they were one step away, and then teams like Eclipse fighting for their life right here. If they can get to that 4-2, they could be able to get into that all-important finals bracket. Interestingly enough, they're running 3 shotguns right now with 1 Uzi, and the reason I point that out is due to the fact that this is a tank where you want to try to maximize the Uzi chip if you can. At the same point in time, they're going to make their way up to the campsite here. Infected, not positioned to take advantage of this. They're going to get those chrome shotguns, and they're going to have a Charger, Smoker, Jockey, and a Boomer for this Witch here, Kiss Me, which can do a lot of damage if misplayed by the Survivors.
Indeed, and we'll see a Charger. I mean, you just ran off the line, but it's going to be a Charger, Smoker, Jockey, and a Boomer yet again. So there's definitely the possibility for a big hit here if Team Eclipse goes for his crown and botches it. I wouldn't even be surprised if we see them completely bypass the Witch. I mean, she's on the left side of the tractor trailer. They could just literally run by her and forget that she ever existed. I mean, she's not going to be a factor during the tank or anything. They can literally just walk past this and ignore it, and I wouldn't be mad at them at all for actually doing that. Because it's just not worth the 20 points in my honest opinion. Like, they should be just aiming for safe room. They have a big potential here to get a huge lead off this first map, and you don't want to blow it and possibly even get wiped by this tri-cap with the Witch.
Or kill the hit and then come back and kill the Witch as well. They could also do that, and I think they're looking to do something similar. That Smoker's going to try to get a pull between the butts. We're going out of the back, getting a beautiful tri-boom. Jockey's going to land. Charger's going to go in as well, getting a beautiful double charge. The Smoker is going to get the cover. This is a massive amount of damage going on in Team Eclipse. That Charger's still going out. Dawkins is still put. Jockey getting scratches. Jockey's actually going to get a rejock onto one of the Survivors right there. This is an absolutely great amount of damage coming out by Team Helheim, letting those separation caps. And now Dawkins is going to go for the Witch here. He's going to crouch, and he does get the crown. So that is the one saving grace. But Kiss Me, they took a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, they might have been better off actually just going straight for the crown instead of trying to circumvent and then go back. But, you know, hindsight's 20/20. Unfortunately, that Boomer got a really nice spawn there, rocketing in behind the Survivors. No one was actually in the back watching the spawn. So, it obviously just opened up the path to hell, if you will.
Yeah, and the path to hell, if you will. That Smoker's going out, not going to be able to land. Boomer's going to spawn down below, does manage to get a single boom. Spit's going to go ahead and stack itself. Bot, Smoker, and a Charger still in play, and the tank is in the hands of the one only Vector. Now, did you say that that Charger actually manages to land for a quick second as well? And this car is going in, not going to hit Dawkins. Very, very close. Did you say we have a Helheim Worm or not?
Indeed, we do. Hopefully, they all speak English. If they're not speaking English, I'm probably going to bring it back here, or you know, maybe toss it over to another Eclipse War Room. But yes, we do have both War Rooms.
Okay, let's try to take it over to a Team Helheim Worm now then, because Vector, it seems like he's getting his cars in position, and that car almost went in.
Indeed, let's toss it over.
Do it.
You wanna get that car there? Okay. You can get it. Nice car. Go in, go in.
Pushing.
They're going for it. They're going for it.
Can you get that boom? Nice, nice, nice.
Oh,
nice.
that car.
Oh!
Unlucky.
It's a good place. You should go with the cars now.
Don't kill your support now.
Yeah, I won't play.
Nice.
Gonna push now. Both car pull.
Can't play those cars.
Need to help him. Maybe.
Okay, I'm
Let's go help, go help.
Oh my god, this guy. Don't die.
Can you get the car?
I can try, but we're really bad.
Yeah.
But
Can you get up?
paced.
Can you get up behind me?
Of course.
We get another hit soon.
Yeah.
Just play long, don't be stupid.
I can't really, because
Second.
Oh shit, I'm fucking lagging. This VPN sucks.
I'm ready for a
come on,
second.
give me
Here,
a...
We're back from that worm of Team Helheim. They actually spoke English. So we'll be doing more of the worms for the remainder of this match. A nice tank by Vector, though. Some good SI support. And that's going to put a dent in Eclipse's health bonus, to say the least.
Indeed it is. Eclipse did a good job of kiting that tank around, just moving away from the hittables and moving away from the hittables and transitioning away from the hittables, but then Vector was able to get in the middle of them, got a nice separation onto Dawkins and managed to get him down. Jockey going in from the back with a Hunter in the front. Hunter is going to land. That's going to be a Jockey getting M2 and shut down. Boomer spawning up as well, getting a single boom onto the survivors, getting a little bit more health bonus chip, but again, as you said, that tank usually is either an all or nothing for the special infected, where they either get like a death or a wipe, but Vector did a great job spraying the damage in a pretty unconventional tank spot.
Indeed, and actually he punched Ellis over the border of the pool, causing a little bit of separation to happen. Unfortunately, the Charger wasn't able to latch onto him, though, but it was still a good amount of damage nonetheless, and it looks like Eclipse has made their way up towards the hill, or the drop point, if you will. Another attack also beginning to spawn up here is going to be a Smoker, Hunter, Spitter, and a Charger, so a 3-cap, and quite a nice hit here for the drop. I'm assuming all the SI will probably drop down right behind the survivors and give pursuit. Well, we'll see what Eclipse actually decides to do here, though. It looks like they're trying to just get some early chip around the SI at the very least.
Indeed they are. That Hunter wants the skybox, I'm pretty sure. He's going for it hard, and he almost got, actually. He's trying to get that Superman Hunter. They threw the bile at the Smoker, interestingly enough, and now I think they're going to try to drop here. They're going to be dropping right into the waiting arms of this hit. Smoker spawning up from the back. Charger coming in, but that Hunter's going to get the cap onto Coach, immediately cleared though, pull going out. Charger's going to go in there, Majesty to get a charge onto Ramirez. Thankfully for Team Eclipse, he is non-health bonus, so right now, they're going to pick him back up. He is going to be black and white. They might be able to find one more set of pills to try to make it to the safe room and take at least a moderate lead over Team Helheim if they can keep Ramirez alive and then get out of the way of these last couple hits.
Yeah, I mean, as it stands right now, obviously, they have all 4 survivors still alive. This is where we actually saw the second survivor for Team Helheim die off last half. And just them getting to this point alone has given them the lead. They don't have to go all the way up the hill. Boomer actually completely whiffing that boom somehow. Not being able to arc it over the rock there, so that Boomer completely shut down, being held by Super. And now we see only 3 SI left up here. It's going to be a Smoker, Hunter, and a Jockey. So still 3 cappers. But we'll see what kind of champion. Smoker latching onto Coach, going for the kill. We're going to get clear off, though. Jockey latching on Alice before instantaneously being shut down as well. And that Hunter going for DP, lands a DP on the Coach. That almost killed him. That almost killed Coach.
He's at 1 HP, black and white. Ramirez, he's either gonna get hit by Spit or he's gonna get pulled or something in the back. And I think the survivors know that, so they're gonna start putting their bonus in the safe room to make the most of this lead that they've been able to get. That's gonna be the Spit going down. It's gonna kill Ramirez. And now they are going to push their way into the safe room. Nagi is still outside. Looks as though this Charger wants to get some kind of spawn in between. Then looks as though he actually did get it, but they're going to put 3 survivors in the safe room. That's going to give them a total score of 534 points, so a 200-point lead off of map 1. Obviously not the kind of score delta that Eclipse is looking for, but they will take anything in this situation, and 200 points is definitely better than being behind, in my opinion.
Definitely. Can I get a hashtag RipRam in chat? But yeah, that was actually a really good round there from Eclipse. They took a lot of damage during tank, but they were able to nullify quite a bit of the hits throughout the entire map, for that matter. It was just during the tank that where they took, obviously, a brunt of the damage. Tank got a lot of punches out. He wasn't able to land a car or anything, which is obviously a good thing. He wasn't able to get the car out of the pool area as well, which he was going to look for the kill on the Coach with, I believe. But once again, obviously, it didn't come to fruition, as he couldn't get the car past the table, pretty much.
Indeed, and this tank is going to be at 20%, so it's another very versatile tank to play for the Special Infected. It can be a little bit difficult at times if the survivors play it correctly and don't get boomed in this area here, but again, there's a focus they can use, there's a rock tank that they can play, there's a whole bunch of stuff that they can do, so I'm going to be excited to see that. And I think that if I'm Helheim right now, obviously they're in a good position because they are 4-1 so far in the Swiss stage of the tournament. But again, these results are going to be just completely, I don't know. If it really depends on the winner and loser of this game as well, because there's going to be like what? I would say 6 or I think maybe 5 or 6 teams who are going to be sitting at 4-2 or something like that. So it's going to be really, really interesting. And really the only way to guarantee your slot to get into the finals bracket is to just win the game here. So I think Helheim are going to keep just playing it as best they possibly can, especially with the inclusion of Vector. And at this point, they're going to look to do damage. They're going to look to make the comeback here. And I think this tank has the potential to do a lot of work.
Indeed it does, but we will see the round starting here. Obviously, Eclipse over on Survivor half after taking the early lead here in the game. And we'll see attack coming in. Nice double manning. The Jockey and Hunter both land. Boomer going over towards Nick as well. Gonna look for a stumble, but Nick will be able to run out of spit before popping the Boomer. But still a lot of damage and push down on Dawkins and Nagi here. Dawkins taking around 42 damage, and Nagi as well taking a little over 20 damage from that first hit. So they got to start breaking down those SI attacks a little bit at a quicker rate. They allowed the SI to really make their way in really at a quick pace. But with that being said, tank will come up in the hands of Thug Life here for Helheim. And this is one of those tanks where you can see everything happen, or you can see really nothing happen.
Exactly, and I think he's going for the dumpster. So he hit the forklift a little bit in play. He's got a Boomer, a Hunter, and a Jockey for his support right now for this hit. And he's going to go for the dumpster play. I actually like the dumpster as well, due to the fact that it seems a lot easier for the control factor with the tank, where you can crouch and hit that, and it's harder for the survivors to predict exactly what's going to happen. He's got that hittable in play. He's now transitioning back up to the roof. I'm expecting his SI hit team to actually go in relatively soon for some kind, unless he actually wants to save this. The Hunter's already down to about 167 HP, so that's a quick clear. And indeed, they're going to be hitting for a rock right here. That Boomer really wants to spawn in the tree. Jockey coming in from the back. Hunter's still bouncing around on the side. Rock's going to go in there. Nothing doing so far. And this is a little bit interesting, because if they send this hit now, then they're going to have to get other spawns for the commit. But that Boomer actually does manage to land the commit. Do you want to take it, or not the commit, but landing a boom. Do you want to send this over to a Team Helheim War Room very quickly?
Yeah, let's just go and kick it over and see what they think, because this tank's definitely going to move in with this.
Do it.
Okay.
Yo.
Just get it in. We'll do the rest.
You took so damage. Keep going.
Let's go.
Cut the mark.
Let's go in. Corner him.
Oh,
No support, no support.
spread damage.
Go.
Keep going.
So much.
And we're back from that war room of Team Helheim. Really well played there by Team Eclipse, though. I gotta throw that out there. They are cutting these hitables. Like, they don't want to be caught anywhere near them. We saw them on the last map actually running through the pool and then back towards the tank to completely avoid the cars. And in this one, we saw them run back to the safe room and then kite the hitable when it was underneath the they're not turnstiles, but the ticket booth area. So they're definitely playing these hitables. They don't want to be anywhere near them.
Honestly, I thought that was going to be a little more damage, but the tank kept hitting its hittable as the survivors backed up. Hits going in here right now. Single boom going out. Hunter getting obliterated. Spit goes down on nothing in particular, and that Jockey's going to die last as well, so that's going to increase the probability for a 2-2 on the next hit. And like I said, they take the one down right there because Thug Life was able to get Nagi in the corner, but besides that, they took almost no damage from that entire tank. And at this point, really all they need to be worried about is the ladder choke, and also not taking damage, obviously, at a couple of these other hits. But again, with two teams at this level, the ladder choke is probably going to be the biggest damage potential for Team Helheim, unless something stupid happens. Which, I mean, it could. We really just need to see what happens with the setups that they get. It's going to be a Boomer, a Hunter, a Charger, and a Smoker. They're actually going in right now. Nice two-cap landing. The Charger and the Hunter, however, went for the same person. Those two punches got God-framed as well. That was close to a big play, but Eclipse were able to save it.
Yeah, there was just some quick clears coming out by them, and also the Horde took a little while to actually get in onto the Smoke Survivor, so there wasn't too much damage pushed onto him either. But the next hit, as you mentioned before, is going to be that ladder hit, so we'll see how well Eclipse can actually take it. We'll see what spawns Helheim will be getting as well, because they had a pretty good setup right there, but they threw it in, obviously, at the moment they came out of the warehouse. But the spawns are coming up now. It's going to be a Charger, Hunter, Spitter, and a Smoker. So really the only thing I can say that you'd like to be different here is obviously the Hunter for a Jockey. But other than that, this is just as good as the last hit that they just threw in, pretty much.
Yeah, this is still great damage potential here. Maybe not getting somebody off the roof or something like that, but maybe getting like a charge and a spit in the corner on bonus or something, like going for that damage. And this is exactly what I talked about before, where this is probably going to be the bulk of the damage here. They're going to send Nagi up first because he is obviously the non-bonus. I think the only thing Helheim need to be careful of doing here is accidentally overcommitting their SI onto the non-bonus, because everything goes for him, then it's just going to be maybe a down on him. Nice pull going out. This is exactly what Helheim wanted. There's the charge off. There's the pounce. Spit's also going to go down. That's going to be a full down onto Nagi, and that's going to force Team Eclipse back through the map in order to get him back up, and he is going to be black and white.
Indeed. So now with Nagi being black and white, they can't send him up the ladder because if this is a repeat when they go back to the ladder, if this is exactly what happens again, Nagi's dead, obviously. So they're not going to send him up. Dawkins will probably be the volunteer here to go up for this next round here, but the SI will be also getting their spawns back up here. They're not going to have a really good spawn though. Boomer going actually a little early here, going to land an initial boom onto Rochelle, but now they know that Helheim did not have a fourth spawn. It's obviously just going to be the smoker that they can hear, the spitter, and the third spawn is going to be a hunter. But obviously, Team Eclipse doesn't know that. They could think that there might be another charger, so the possibility of taking another death or charge off the corner here is definitely real. Spitter going down to delay even.
This actually might give them, I don't know if it's going to be a charger or a jockey. I think it should be a jockey. It's going to be, yeah, it's going to be the jockey here. We're going to have the hit coming in. Hunter going in for the cover, getting M2'd. Jockey down below, though, landing onto Ellis. That's going to be a nice little bit of capitalization right there. But again, a quick clear coming out. The only thing that I think Helheim might have wanted to do on that first ladder hit that they had, obviously they got Nagi black and white, but once he was smoked up top, the SI had the other survivors at their mercy to climb that ladder with a charge spit in the corner. So I think they made an okay play charging him off and making them go back around, but that's really the only damage they took. They didn't really take any damage on Dawkins, K3, or Ramirez from that hit.
Indeed, we'll see Boomer spawn up in the front, immediately being pushed away and popped there by the survivors though. So good play there by Ram. They haven't dealt with the witch yet, actually. And actually, speaking of which, there she is. I hear her crying now. She's probably inside the event. No, actually, she's right by the tree up ahead. So we'll see how Eclipse actually elect to take this witch. It shouldn't be that hard of a draw. I mean, there's not really anywhere for the SI to really spawn, and I doubt the SI will actually want to go on this either. Because, once again, there's not really any good spawns from the spawn. From the moment they spawn up, they start getting chipped down by the Zooz right away. Ellis actually just running up, getting that really quick crown on her, and that will be the witch over and dealt with 20 points added to their grand total score, regardless of whether they make it or not. But now we'll see them tackle the event.
Indeed, we actually might have a hit coming in relatively soon. That Hunter wants to come in from the top, looks like, but now the SI are going to be saving for when Team Eclipse pushes out instead of when they're inside, it looks like. That Smoker wants to get some kind of separation here. Getting the pull onto Dawkins. That is going to trigger the rest of the hit. Charger actually missing the charge. Nice pounce spit, though, however, going down. The Smoker actually hits the guy who was pounced, giving him a little bit of an extra get-up or something. That was odd. Lots of instant clears going out at the same point in time. And I was also going to mention the reason that Ramirez had to crown that witch was due to the fact Nagi was black and white. They couldn't afford him failing. Smoker also getting a pull onto Ram in the back there. That was pretty good damage from that hit on both Dawkins and Ramirez by Helheim.
Yeah, and something that's got to be noted right now is K3 has a massive health bonus right now. He's still up well in the 70s with health bonus. Smoking and shut down in the back. Jockey moving up on the side of the generator here. And now allowing for the Boomer to actually get him with that good distraction. Double boom landing. Jockey getting melee down and killed off, obviously. And this Spitter going in for his final scratch. Not going to find it. And that will be Team Eclipse actually walking in the safe room with a 316 health bonus. So that will bounce their score up to a 1370. With obviously Team Helheim sitting at a 333, but they have yet to play their half. But that is still a very respectable score here for Team Eclipse, especially looking at their opponents.
Exactly, and really, we're going to need to see Helheim take the tank in the same way that Eclipse did, taking a minimal amount of damage, maybe only one in cap. And I have to go back to that ladder hit there, because the only damage we really saw Team Eclipse take was after they got past both the tank and one of the hardest chokes in the entire game, was then they got maybe like that pound spit at the event and a little bit of ship damage besides that, but they were able to keep the bonus on K3 the entire time. Miro throwing out his bind for aimware. So, okay, that's good. He's getting DDoS and throwing out aimware. That's always good to have in a competitive Left 4 Dead 2 match. That's never happened before.
Damn it, Miro. Just damn it.
Just damn it in general. But yeah, we are going to be going live right... Oh, whoa, we got baited. Dawkins baited us.
Damn it.
I was going to say, that'll be a quick ready up, but at the same point in time, I'm going to be interested to see how Team Eclipse plays this tank, because there are a lot of options. Now we're going to be going live. First hit is going to be a 2-2 for Eclipse, trying to keep the momentum going. It's going to be a Boomer, Hunter, Spitter, and a Jockey, and it looks as though the survivors are going to maybe bait a little bit. Yeah, indeed they are. So that's going to cause the Jockey and the Hunter both to pre-spawn. I thought the Boomer was going to be able to go in there as well, but not actually. We're going to see Nick trying to go up there and picking something, but instead he's going to get taken outside. He does get cleared through the wall. Spit's not going to go down a whole lot, but some okay damage right there. Not as good as the hit that Helheim saw into Eclipse, however.
Yeah, most certainly not, but obviously there was a really good potential for damage. But Helheim, being aware of what walls in this map are obviously shootable, and they were able to clear that jockey off of Nick's head there, and so that will be a nice save onto Nick. Yes, that was a double nice. So if any of you are drinking, you get to drink like 5 times right there. Regardless, so tank is coming up, and it's going to be in the hands of Dawkins. I believe he's the team captain for Eclipse.
Indeed he is, and the hit that's going to be going in relatively soon, I think, is going to be that jockey, that spitter, and that charger, because there's no reason to have a spitter during the tank commit. Tank is playing with his forklifts right now. Charger going in, Magic land a nice double charge with a spit going down. On top of that, that's going to be a great capitalization by Dawkins' SI support. Good amount of damage going on to Thug Life, and how about we toss this over to a Team Eclipse Worm to see how they want to play this.
Let's throw it over.
Do it.
Or they were looking for me.
You can go for it now or hits up.
I mean, I kind of want to rock for a little, so go for
Okay.
it.
Can you put the... You know how to get the boomer on this tree? Get through?
Yeah, but it's really hard, and I don't like want to.
Okay, alright, that's fine. Let's just go. You ready?
Yeah, go for it.
Let's go. Nice.
No way they'll see that rock coming, dude.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no damage. Dang it.
Fine, you got it. Try not to take.
Yeah,
Yep.
just keep in sight because he's reloading.
You want another rock? We can get one.
Yeah, I'm gonna move back over to the roof with this hit.
Alright. Spawn's ready.
Ready.
Let's go, let's go. Go, go, go.
Good damage.
Nice, you got over no chip.
I'm gonna move it up.
They're
Careful.
probably gonna go back to safe room. So
Yeah, you're like
try not to.
Oh, it's already out there. Okay.
I'm gonna commit with the next thing.
They're going in. Oh, they threw the gnome.
Okay. Ooh, that's not a good hit.
They're gonna sit.
Alright, that's fine.
Is ready?
Don't hit, don't hit.
Fuck.
I'm probably just gonna F that plug first.
They're gonna try to
I'm
push
gonna need
past.
support. Support. Go, go, go.
Go, go.
Fudge.
It's good
Good
damage.
damage, yeah.
We're back from that war room, but still a lot of damage still being pushed out on Team Helheim here. Good SI support, nice tri-boom landing, and that tank, unfortunately, no hittables, obviously connecting so far in this game, but regardless, good damage.
No sets of pills left now for Team Helheim. They just committed the last set. That tank had absolutely nothing until that boom landed, and that Hunter also got the stumble that it did. The tank had them push up to the safe room. He had about like 2,100 health left as the support came in. The boomer spawned on top and managed to get that tri-boom as the Hunter came in, and then the tank was able to capitalize on that. So a great just team effort, I would say, from Team Eclipse right there. We have another hit going in. Charter managing to land. Nice double cap, as a matter of fact. The sprit's going to go down onto Nick as well. He did have a little bit of health bonus, and this has been exactly the game that Team Eclipse needed so far. They've got Helheim backpedaling a little bit right now, and the only bonus left is on Vector. Like, if you compare the way in which that Eclipse took that tank and also the residual hits to where Helheim's sitting right now, Eclipse are in a vast advantage.
Indubitably.
Indubitably.
Yes,
So,
I'm saying that instead of indeed now. But yeah, as you were mentioning, pretty much the health bonus right now for Team Helheim is what Eclipse finished the map with, and they have a long way to go. Charger, Hail Marying the charge, connecting onto Coach. Unfortunately, there's no spit to actually go down top of that, but it's Boomer still looking for spawn, but Boomer, I'm not too sure what he was doing there, but he was spawned, but he never went around the corner to actually boom anybody. So I'm a little unsure of what he was doing there, but regardless, Helheim will be making their way up into the alleyway, making their way towards the ladder choke up ahead. And this is where we saw Eclipse meet some big damage. Nagi taking his second incap, putting him black and white. So we'll see what Helheim has in store for this choke. Maybe they'll take it with an easier time, or maybe
no
Eclipse
Charger.
Ooh, that's interesting. This is not a good... Well, no, this setup kind of works, I guess. Jockey can still take one off and Smoker as well if he pulls from the roof. But regardless, it will be a Spitter, Hunter, Jockey, and a Smoker for this hit. They have a lot of separation potential, especially if that spit goes a spit down after the initial pull / Jock goes down the Survivor at the top. There's a pull on to Nick. Jockey latching on at the top of the hole. Well, one Survivor stuck at the bottom. Jockey's going to bring Nick off the little lip there. And there's the in-cap. Going to put Miro back down. I don't believe he's black and white. No, that's just going to be his first in-cap. But they will have to backpedal if they want to get him.
And Super went down to that spit as well. I think that's one of the best solutions I've seen for an infected team without a charger to hit on that choke. And the Jockey, I thought he was going to go for the 3-cap, but instead he elected to take the Survivor off, so it's almost as good as if they had a charger. And as a matter of fact, Team Helheim are separating right now, and there is a tri-cap in the spawn. It's going to be a Charger, Jockey, Smoker. They're going for it. Tongue cut going out. Charger spawning up top. It's 3-on-2 up top. Survivor's having to backpedal right here. The pull's already going out. Super's doing one left up, and the clear actually goes on the Jockey, and the Charger misses somehow. Those two Survivors just absolutely avoided a catastrophe right there. They took on all 3 of those SI. Smoker is still hungry for the pull onto Super right here, but he's not going to get it, and that might have been a definitely round-saving play right there from Super in connection with Thug Life.
Yeah, that was definitely a round-saving play, as you just mentioned. That should have been 2 deaths onto the Survivors, but they were able to handle those 3 SI as best as they could have. I mean, obviously, the Charger just running up into Ellis's face and punching him down. There's nothing that we could really do about that. Whether we can sing... With that being said, Helheim will take the top of the slides now, making their way down the staircase probably, and indeed that will be their path of choice here. So we'll see another attack looking to come in though. Hunter, Jockey, Spitter, and a Charger. So another 3-1. Spitter looking for a Kappa to spit on here. Charger going for the Hail Mary charge, not going to find anything. This Hunter still having a hard time getting skidded out of the air. Everything shut down to a T. But Helheim still in dire straits right now, and now they're coming up on the Witch.
Indeed they are, and they have no sense of pills left. Super is black and white, and one Survivor is slow. Miro going for the crown, gonna nail it right there, and now we're gonna see Team Helheim having to keep Super alive and also Thug Life in the scope of things due to the fact that he's going to be slow for this entire event. They can't forget about him, because if they do, then they might get it down, and this could turn into a really, really bad situation. Fortunately for them, there's no Spitter on the set. It's going to be a Jockey, a Smoker, a Boomer, and a Hunter. Looks like they're going to start to go in now, and as I said, they forgot about Ellis in the back there. He is going to be down, and now the rest of the hit is going to have to go in on top of that. Boomer jumping in, managing to get a nice double boom, and I think the rest of the hit can save now, but as I said, since Ellis was kind of lagging back there, they're going to have to deal with another hit now as they pop out of this carousel.
They most certainly will. They still have that Molotov to throw down. Obviously, once again, for those that are not familiar with Pro Mod, the Molotov does not last as long, and it also does a little bit more FF to the Survivors, but Ellis does use it to go ahead and bring himself closer to his Survivor teammates. And yeah, we'll see if the SI actually decide to go for a kill here on the Thug Life or Super, or if they actually just want to take away Vector's remaining HP. Regardless, so Jockey going in and immediately shut down. Nice full level going out by Ellis onto the Charger, and the Hunter getting skidded by a Vector. And that's a beautiful shutdown. Vector actually backing into the spit. They're taking a little bit of tip there. And they're going to walk in with probably around 120 health points, I want to say. No, 130 right now. So, yeah, they'll have around like a 132 probably by the time the door closes.
Most important part, though, is that they made it. They kept it close. They got that bonus inside, and that is a nice recovery by Team Helheim. They have 3 bleeders after the tank, and they make it to safe room with that. It's going to be a less than 400-point game going into map 3. This is exactly what we predicted so far. And really, what I think I need to see from Helheim here is that we're going to need to see them make a play on one of these tanks somehow. I'm not sure if that's exactly hugely possible with the generator room. That'd probably be the best tank in Eclipse's favor, but I am so hoping we get to see a tank that happens outside the Tunnel of Love.
Indeed. This is definitely shaping up to be the match that I wanted to see. I wanted to see Eclipse in the forefront for the first few rounds because Helheim, I think, is a team that can really make a comeback. And I want there to be that danger throughout the entire match pretty much for Team Eclipse. I want to see them play to the T. I want to see them play to their fullest. And hopefully we can see this happen. For some reason, my Reddit bind does not love me. There we go.
There we go. But it actually is unfortunately going to be a safe room tank here. I say unfortunately because I'm a personal fan of tanks that aren't just like run in and hit things. Like I like having some kind of versatility where you can run in and hit things and also play it differently. But that being said, this also has a potential to be a wipe if played correctly by our special infected friends in Team Helheim. But this is also a tank where if Eclipse shuts it down well enough, they've got the Chrome, they've got the Susie. This could really, really put Eclipse in the driver's seat for not just this chapter, but also obviously going into map 4 if they can just not take a whole lot of damage on this tank. That's all they need to do.
Indeed, as you said, that is how it shall be. But Boomer looking for a spawn here in the back, not going to find it just yet. Waiting for Alice to maybe leave the safe room. But it looks like they are going to go for an early hit here. Once again, tank is at 13% through the way of the way through the map here. So it's pretty much at the opening of the heart here. Boomer getting popped immediately after spawning though. Hunter going in on the Rishal will find the connection, and now this Charge and Smoker are left holding hands in the lonely tunnel of love. All they can really do is sit in one of the swan boats and wait for the SI comrades to come in. Smoker getting pulled there on the coach. Charger going to hold it for another day, though. But tank up in the hands of Super for Team Helheim. And this is the big tank, because if this is a wipe, this opens up a vast opening for Team Helheim to actually make a comeback happen. But if this tank is a no-hitter or something, Eclipse has free reign to really just open up that gap.
Indeed. So how about we take it over to a Team Helheim war room, because Super is going to have to do a lot of work on this tank.
Indeed, let's toss it over.
Do it.
Okay.
Have fun.
Yeah, well.
Just slow down.
It's gonna be so fun.
Can you feel it, my friends?
Oh, we'll be feeling it.
It's coming!
Tank hype!
Come in behind me. Come in behind me.
You get fucked.
Help.
Get fucked.
Oh!
There you fucking go, boys!
Great!
Tank hype. The tank hype is real.
Nah, they got this now.
Fucking roasted, son.
Hey, heard you like comments.
What a retard.
And there we go, just like that, the wipe coming up by Supra.
God.
You should have heard them, they were like, tank hype!
That
What a wipe.
was absolutely ridiculous. Super went in there and he played it exactly as he should have. He kept pushing the survivors back. They tried to have Ellis jump around the tank and take the SI, but instead they ate the hit right to the face. Super hit beautiful multi-punches, and that is exactly what Team Helheim needed to make the comeback in this situation. Kiss me, all they need to do now is not have that happen. And again, this is usually a tank where the survivors don't take a lot of damage. That was an absolutely stunning wipe from Team Helheim and Super's tank.
That was beautiful, and I love the hype coming from Team Helheim, showing off a lot of emotion in that war room. But we'll see a Boomer going in initially, getting a nice boom on the coach. Smoker grabbing the pole. Charger brain neck back down towards the safe room. And so that's a good amount of damage. Smoker actually got him repull on a coach in the front with the common on top of that. That was actually a nice amount of damage. And we have a Hunter hanger from the roof. But regardless, tank is up. It's going to be controlled by Ram here for Team Eclipse. And at the very least, we have to see a lot of damage, if not the wipe. But a lot of damage at the very least.
Exactly, and getting that wipe, if they could get the counter wipe here in terms of what Team Eclipse can do, that would be huge. But again, they're going to need to have some kind of SI hit land, because when Super got to that door, he had like, what, 3,000 HP or something like that? Like, it was really not that, like, he couldn't do a whole lot with that, and that SI hit had to help him out. And then as soon as the SI went in, that side was able to capitalize. So, is now the time for the Team Eclipse worm, do you think?
Yeah, let's go and toss it over and see what they're thinking for the SI lineup.
Do it.
You can't wait for this, you gotta go. Oh.
Oh, you're off.
I'm gonna let you guys go in front of me. Go, guys, go.
Go.
Fuck.
It's Brock. I'm really dumb.
Double.
We're back from that war room of Team Eclipse. Good damage nonetheless. Super and Miro both taking quite the chip there from the tank and the attack itself. But still, that's not the wipe that they needed. I have a feeling Helheim's going to make up the points here in distance alone. But I'm going to give the wipe to Eclipse. I think they're going to get the wipe nonetheless.
They're going to have to do it with some kind of spectacular coaster choke hit or something. Again, right there, it just showed exactly how great the SI for Helheim was, because most of the pinners landed for Eclipse, but they weren't in sequence, and one of them got cleared pretty early on, and that's really all you need to shut down that tank. We have a charge spit, though, going on. Spit got blocked a little bit by Ellis. Still is going to take the rest of Super's permanent health away, but again, Helheim were able to recover as we have a pause here coming out from K3, and as you said, they're going to get a lot of points just off of distance based on this chapter.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much if they make their way all the way to the coaster, I think that's 350 points, maybe 400. So right there, they claw back the distance, or just the gap that's between the scores right now. And I think we could see an incredibly close game. And I hope it doesn't come down to map 4 tank, because map 4 can be a really big sway map. I'd like to see stay close throughout map 4, and map 5 be the decider. I want like a double wipe to happen next map after this map's over, and then map 5 just leave it there and just, you know, let that be the decider. But regardless, we are going back live here. K3 readying up his infected team. I'm not too sure what the pause was over, but regardless, once again, we're live. So we'll see how Eclipse can actually manage to start shutting down Team Helheim here, Survivor play.
Indeed, and I mean, with that tank damage coming out, though, like, it wasn't bad damage for that area either. So there is only one set of pills left for Team Helheim, and these hits can do a lot of damage, really. It's just depending on what Team Eclipse wants to do. It's going to be a spitter, a jockey, a charger, and a smoker. And it looks as though they're sending the non-bonus in first for Team Helheim. And this is going to put Team Eclipse in a tough position, because that is immediately going to get shut down. That entire hit got annihilated. Like, that jockey and charger got killed immediately. Spitter got destroyed. And Helheim are on the comeback trail. Kiss me, it's happening.
Definitely. I mean, they're running 3 shotguns right now, and you saw the power right there of 3 shotguns. Just taking it to the charger. He didn't have a chance of landing. And that was a beautiful take there by Helheim. They're going to move their way up through the bottom portion of the Tunnel of Love and make their way quickly outside. But there will be another hit coming up here relatively soon. There it is. Boomer going to swap on the left side probably with the charger, Hunter, and jockey coming from the front. So we'll see if they can actually make this land. Charger taking Coach way back. That's a double cap up front with the charger in the back. Boomer does also land out on the Coach. So beautiful hit thus far. That's a lot of damage on the permanent health of a Team Helheim. And that's what we have to see from Eclipse. And this coaster is looking more and more bleak for Helheim.
And Super is at the point where he's just going for that pill cabinet after that hit. And that's one of those hits where it's just like, how did that even occur? Due to the fact that Team Eclipse got the damage on the bonus that they needed right there. And they're lucky on the side of Team Helheim that they still have the speed to get past this coaster. But again, great attack from Eclipse. Great charge in the back. And even though Boomer was able to jump in and prevent one of the survivors from immediately clearing that charger, so they got like 3 or 4 slams. That was a fantastic job. And they had the perfect hit for the choke here too, because they have the jockey, spitter, smoker, and charger.
Yeah, so this is the epitome of what you really want for this choke. Everything's in Eclipse's hands to make this happen. It falls in their court. They have to make this wipe happen. They have been given the tools. It's just a matter of, can they actually bring down Helheim here. Jockey taking a little bit of chip there. Actually, no, he didn't hit a single bullet. Molotov going down on the smoker, going to push him out of position. Jockey going in and actually getting killed off. So that's one SI down. The smoker's in a really bad position, being pushed away from the bush, but now you can finally move back up on it. Obviously, the Molotov will not light him on fire permanently. Charger actually bypassing Rochelle, charging straight down the coaster for some reason. And that's a dead tank, or not tank, but a charger.
Yeah, that smoker really doesn't have anything either. Miro knows where he is. He's just spraying the bush to keep him suppressed down there. That charger, for some reason, didn't go for the non-bonus. And that smoker gets a pull off, and Coach is going to get in cap.
So that's going to obviously put Coach down on the ground. What a pull there by that smoker. He had really no right getting that pull, but he does regardless. And now the SI spawns are coming back up. It's going to be Jockey for the first spawn here. But unfortunately, the rest of the spawns are 4 seconds plus out. So this Jockey's probably just best to hold his horses and wait for his SI.
That was less because Eclipse capitalized on that. I thought he was going to lead tank. Nothing happened. Vector just fell right off the side for whatever reason. I guess he was getting cleared as that was happening or something like that, as he was getting pulled. That usually doesn't happen. But again, we're playing Left 4 Dead 2. It's going to be a spitter, a charger, a smoker, and a jockey here. 3 from the front. Jockey trying to go in first to lead in. Imagine they get the jockey, as a matter of fact. The smoker is going to get picked right there. And this charger is kind of out of luck right here. Going in, going to get completely obliterated as that spit goes down again. Another nice take by Team Helheim, Kiss Me, and they have taken the lead.
Indeed, they're up by 3 points as it stands right now. I'm still going to give the wipe to Eclipse, though. Helheim's sitting very low on HP. 3 of them are completely bleeding out. Super and Miro are about to be slow here in a second as Super continues to bleed out. Thug Life is also on the brink of going slow, even though he's full perm. He actually has 40 HP on the dot left. So 1 little tick of damage and he'll be slow as well. Rochelle actually slid off of the coaster, taking a little bit of damage from it. And now they come up on the Witch. Boomer dropping down, getting a nice double proxy out onto Rochelle and Coach. And they still have this Witch to deal with as well, as I just mentioned. But the attack might actually come in prematurely here. It's going to be a Jockey, Smoker, and a Hunter. So a tri-cap. And the only shotgun is being held by Coach here, who is boomed. And he finally does see the Witch. Actually, I'm not sure if he does. She's getting a little bit of aggro here. Attack does come down, though. Jockey missing. Hunter getting shut down. Coach going for the Witch crown. Gonna miss it. Actually getting pulled. And the Witch. Oh, what a crown!
He got the crown! Vector just, oh my gosh, he clutched that Witch as he was getting pulled in the last second of that animation with 150 ping. he got that crown. That is one of the best crowns I've ever seen in Left 4 Dead 2. Just though I don't exactly know how he did that. He might be able to get the clear on the Smoker too. Even if this is a wipe, you gotta give it to Vector for that crown. Like, great play by Eclipse, but that was absolutely beautiful. And they have a 100-point lead going into map 4 now.
That was an absolutely insane crown. He missed the first crown, and then the moment before he got fully pulled, he got the shot off as she ran in his face. That was nuts. But nonetheless, he gets the crown. There is the wipe going out into Team Helheim, obviously. A 100-point lead going their way for this 4th map, and that's not any comfortable score differential, though. Like, Helheim still has to be on their toes. They have a long way to go.
Yeah, but they are specifically in the driver's seat now because they have Survivor first. So if they can just kill this tank and then make the safe room, that is going to put the pressure on to Team Eclipse. Obviously playing from behind, they know it's at stake here now. Again, as you mentioned though, it's a really small score differential going into it. But at the same point in time, it's anyone's game. The tank's at 59%, so that's going to be right before the barn room, actually. Interesting spawn there, because that means that the tank can either force the survivors to stay outside, or he can give them the barn room. That can go, honestly, either way for both teams. And I am so excited to see how that's going to play out. And if I'm Team Eclipse right now, you guys kind of shake off the fact they lost the lead. They just got to keep playing and try to get as much damage as they can per hit. Just do it hit by hit. That's all you can do.
Yeah, there's really nothing else that you can really do. You just have to play it map by map, hit by hit, half by half, however you want to look at it. You just have to take it bit by bit, though. You can't look at the grand scheme and say, you know, we're going to beat them by 3,000. That's not reasonable. You have to look at the circumstances that you're given and just work from there, and we'll see which team can actually follow through on that the best. Obviously, Helheim up 100 points coming into this 4th map. Thank you guys very much for tuning in this over. You're watching round 6, the deciding match here for Eclipse, whether they will make the final 8 or not, going up against Helheim, the number 2 seed, I believe, for the entire tournament coming into the group stage. So they have quite a match on their hands, and it's been quite a showing thus far. But regardless, we are going live here with map 4, Helheim on the survivor half, Eclipse taking up the SI, and the first is going to be that jockey, smoker, charger, and a spitter. So let's see what Helheim can do here with shutting down this attack.
Yeah, it's a good amount of damage potential, and it looks as though Helheim's actually going to put Miro on top of the safe room door right there. I think they're going to try to fan out and obviously not eat anything in this case and try to make it as hard for that charger to land, because the only thing that's been doing damage to them so far have been one of two things. Either cappers jumping in and staying, like, stacking on top of each other, or some pull chart spits, which is the meta nowadays. We are going to have the jockey going in, trying to get the guy on top of the safe room door, then deciding against it. Nice self-clear right there. Charger is going to whip, and again, that's exactly what Eclipse was going for. They were going for that pull chart spit, but the positioning by Team Helheim and the quick shutdowns were able to mitigate that damage to only 14 points.
Definitely. Good save there by Ellis, keeping himself away from that damage. And, yeah, that will pretty much be the first hit up and over with. Tank will be up at 59% of the way. It's going to be in the hands of Nagi, so we're going to have to wait a little bit longer to actually see that tank come up. It's going to be a barn tank, as I believe you said a little bit earlier. There is a witch, though, that has spawned up right outside this building. Actually, she's inside of...
Oh, she's inside! And actually, that's going to be a fail crown going out by Vector. He went in there and tried to quick crown it. That's going to be a double cap landing, actually a stacking double cap, because the smoker got the pull, and then the jockey got on top of that as well. Vector tried to do what he did last map, where he went in there and tried to, like, either get pulled by the smoker as he was going for the witch, but the witch swiped him before he could get the shot off. That's pretty big for Team Eclipse. Already one survivor into bleed, I should say, and Miro putting the 420 blaze it into
Miro.
Oh my gosh.
For these that don't know what that means, Vector did 420 damage to the witch before he got hit by her. Frickin' Miro. He paused just for that.
Yeah, you know, they had to do that, I guess. They're having a fun time with it as well. The pressure, obviously, not as much on Team Helheim due to the fact they put themselves in a position to, I think, already be in the elimination bracket, whether or not they win or lose this game. But they're competitors. They want to win this. They want to beat Eclipse. They want to go with that 5-1 and then just keep going with it. Nice M2 on that boomer. Shutdown does go out. Smoker gets a pull immediately cleared. Charger is going to try to come from the back, it looks like. Yeah, he's going to go for the free charge. Going in there, charging the dumpster instead. Just completely going the opposite direction. He does get a punch onto Ellis, however. And the tank actually is going to be up relatively soon, I think.
Yeah, I mean, with that botch witch going out, I mean, it really lessens the tension here for the tank. Really, now the tank, all he has to do is avoid Vector. Go for anyone else but Vector, and he's doing good damage. And that also helps out because that's knocking out an entire health bonus from that witch hit. So we'll see what the tank here up in the hands of Nagi decides to do, who he goes for, and if he can get a corner on two of the survivors, that's going to be 2 health bonuses completely demolished after this tank. Burma getting the initial boom here, though, on Coach. I have a feeling we're going to see a commit here in a few
go in.
seconds with this
Yeah,
third spawn coming up.
Let's take this over to Team Eclipse Worm, because I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
Like, it's gonna be much. You start going in now. Oh, you should have been a lot closer, but yeah, Ford's dead now.
Should I go in?
Yeah, 100%. You just might as well wait for
Yeah.
the spawn.
Don't get coach.
Alright, good, Nagi.
They're trying to light the tank.
Let's go, we
Help.
gotta go.
Help them.
Oh, he melee skeeted me, dude. Are you kidding me? One more. Oh, good. Nice shot. Good damn.
We're back from that fourth war room for Team Eclipse, and actually a good spread of damage. Both Miro and Thug Life taking a crap ton of damage from that tank, plus the SI. And I mean, what else did you really see happening?
Well, that was unfortunate because I think Nagi didn't land a couple of those first punches, but besides that, I think Thug Life somehow got a juke off of the corner there, and I'm not exactly sure if that was just a case of Nagi not, like, following his hitbox or something, but that helped because then the survivors were able to rail him, and then also one of the SI did get shut down, or most of the SI support got shut down, so that could have been better, but again, he got pretty good damage for that room. At this point, though, they need to get the bonus off of Miro and Supra, and then they're going to need to play one hell of a survivor round at the same point in time. So it's going to be a Spitter, a Jockey, a Hunter, and a Smoker for this hit, which I think we are going to see coming in right now. That Smoker's going to get a nice separation pull. Jockey getting M2, Hunter going in for a TP, not landing anything as of yet. Now does get a pounce on to Rochelle in the corner. That was both of the health bonuses being pinned on that hit. However, the one saving grace for Helheim right now is the fact that they are going to be all fast with that set of pills passed, at least for a couple seconds before either Vector or Thug Life goes slow again.
Yeah, and as you just mentioned, pretty much, we have to see them knock this health bonus down a little bit more, them being Eclipse. Right now, sitting at 364, but if they can actually tackle Supra and get a spit, like a hunt spit, a charge spit, really even a jockey spit around a corner or anything on the Supra, that will be massive. That will knock that health bonus down so far. Charger trying to drop in there, looking for Charge, not going to find anything, though. Immediately melee there, down by Coach, and this Hunter is well getting skeeted. Actually, not even skeeted. He got M2'd and then killed off. Jockey did latch onto, or Alice, I believe it was, for a couple seconds there, though.
Well, all the bonuses on Supra, and what they're going to need to do now is they're going to need to try to push up to that, past the dumpsters at least, because the hit is down. But the common here, especially with elevated ping, which they are playing with on the side of Helheim, more so than Team Eclipse, is going to be trying to get through these common as fast as possible. And Supra is just tanking his way to the safe room right here, but he got the Charger to spawn, and now he's going to back up into an open area so the rest of his teammates can sponge this. This theoretically should be the last hit for
This is going to be a
Team
wipe.
Eclipse.
There's no way for Helheim to take the safe lane. Let's like land this Charge. Charger goes in for the charge. Actually, he just punches down Coach. That's going to leave him on the ground. This Charger goes to a recharge on Nick, going to bring him back towards the porta potty. But the clear does come out by Ellis, and that will stop Miro from taking the cap.
This is not going to be a wipe. That's what I thought was going to, like, in that situation, if that Boomer had landed or if that Spit had really gotten down, that would have been a lot worse. But they're going to have the spawn block. They're going to get the pickup here, I think, and they're going to close the door. And I think they're going to make the safe room right here because of the way they shut that hit down. And as soon as we see them clear the common from the door, they're going to try to work their way in. Jockey getting M2'd, shut down, Smoker going in as well. Everything going from Miro. They managed to get the in-cap on him, but the common have stopped coming in from the front. The Hunter and the Spitter are trying to go in as well. Hunter manages to land on the Super, but the Spit is nowhere close. And Kiss Me, that, I think, was just an example of what Team Helheim Survivor play can do on those last couple of hits, as long as they can pick Miro back up before he dies, which I don't think is going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think that he's going to die. The reason that I was actually expecting the wipe to happen was because both Miro and Vector were incredibly low on HP. And the Charger, he did the first part right. He punched down Coach, which put one survivor down in a really bad position. And then he could even went over and punched Nick down. There's a nice level going on in the Charger, as we mentioned that. And Jockey actually working very safe and getting a scratch. I mean, that's still a nice breakdown of the health bonus. They were at a 360 during the event and went down to a 168. So we could definitely see Eclipse claw us back. A 300 health bonus is not unheard of on this map. The norm, if you make this map, is like a 300 to 400. So we could definitely see a clawback happen.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is one of the maps where the survivors have a great potential to make the safe room with some kind of bonus, especially with that tank. I thought that tank was going to spawn a little bit earlier, like in the middle of the barn there, instead of just being outside, like push past like where it's 80% through the map. But instead, they're just going to be guaranteed the barn room to take that tank. They're going to have 3 Uzis. As long as they shut down some of the SI support, they can definitely keep that bonus together. Again, the two most important points, not taking any unnecessary damage at that tank, and obviously not wiping, but then also being able to keep 4 survivors fast for when they push their way through the event. Those are the two most important things that Team Eclipse needs to do. It's definitely doable, and we've also got the finale to play, but I would like to see them get at least 2,000 points campaign total by the end of this chapter. So like even just a 600-point chapter score would give them like at least some hope if they can't take the lead. And you know what, they can. So let's see what they can do. I'm excited for it.
I am as well, and I'm really actually still thinking about that last hit. I thought that should have been. I really thought that was gonna be a wipe. I thought that was well within the realm of a wipe. Miro saying, "Do you mind if I TP my tank?" What? Yeah, that's illegal. Oh, you're gonna arrest him. Ooh. RBT3 admins. They are the law. But regardless, we'll have the round going on here. Eclipse pushing right safe and going towards that tree. Jockey going on the same Zara that was pulled. That's going to be a spit going down on the charge as well, so Nick can take a lot of damage here. Jockey bringing Coach back inside the spit as well.
A lot of damage.
That was a nice hit. Wrapping the Jockey around, Smoker getting a nice distraction, and that will be a nice hit. But the good news is Nick should have an easy time going for the crown here if he so does choose to do that, which it looks like he is.
Found an extra set of pills, but as you said, they are going to push through, getting the nice crown right there. And really at this point, they are so close to being able just to make the play on this tank. But again, it's going to be in the hands of Miro. And you know what gets me? I'm having flashbacks to a cup that you casted for... Actually, I'll get to that in a second because we have this hit coming in. Charger getting shut down, Boomer getting a single boom, Jockey getting M2'd and shut down as well. I'm flashing back to where it was Non-Stop versus Liechtenstein. It was some kind of Roto Cup on No Mercy. I think it's the featured video on your channel right now where Miro just completely rolled. I think it was Liechtenstein on like map 4 of No Mercy. Like his tanks can be really incredible.
Yeah, he has quite the tanks. Oh yeah, that was in the atrium of No Mercy 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a hell of a tank. I remember that. That was one of those highlight moments you don't forget. But anyway, Smoker coming from behind, not going to find anything. Eats some pellets to the face. They're going to drop him down to 178 HP. And they're probably going to look to throw that Smoker in. It's not really a very conducive SI for this area. And yeah, there we go. Smoker jumping in the hands of Vector. Going to go being killed off. And let's go ahead and switch to a Miro POV. Looking like he wants to play with a dumpster too, maybe.
Potentially. I think he's just doing that to wait for his SI support to be up. I'm not sure if he's actually going to try to put the dumpster inside. If he gets it inside, that would be pretty huge. But at the same point in time, do you want to take it over to a... He actually might be, but you want to take it over to that Helheim Worm?
Yeah, let's toss it to a Helheim and see what they're thinking. Because that one dumpster is in play from actually working in the doorway. He is losing rage really quick right now. So let's kick it over to a Helheim Worm.
Do it.
Yeah, careful with Molly.
Where's the teleport?
You can.
It's coming, boys.
Better help him.
Let's go now.
Go help.
Nice, nice. Stay on that. That's not good. One more up.
And let's take it back to the Castle War Room. Nice tank there by Miro nonetheless. I mean, he had a fairly decent commit there, getting a quick corner onto, I believe it was Coach, getting a couple hits on him, and switching targets over to Ellis. But unfortunately, not the damage that they were looking for. 2 big green bars left on the survivors being held by Dawkins and K3 for the health bonuses. And even Ramirez not taking an incap yet. The only incap going out thus far has been onto Nagi. So Eclipse looking like they could claw us back with this map. Attack coming in though, Smoker going to pull onto Rochelle. Hunter pounce around, look for something. Spit goes down on top of Rochelle. That is one of the health bonuses. Jockey also latching onto Nick. And that's a lot of damage going on to the team of Eclipse. And luckily Hunter Gang does stop the kill.
Exactly. And at this point, though, that hit did do a good job at mitigating, actually not mitigating, but actually just getting rid of the health for Team Eclipse. And now they're going to only have 2 sets of pills here, and they're going to have 3 survivors still at least going into this event. And I don't know, this is really, really crunch time for Helheim Special Competitive. If they can get a couple good hits here, they can actually go and maintain their lead going into map 5. It's going to be a spitter, a charger, a jockey, and a boomer. Boomer jumping in, beautiful double boom off that rocket, and now we should see the rest of the hit start working its way in. All the health bonus is sitting up top. Charger rocketing, getting a beautiful double charge, and that's going to be a spit going down on the survivor who got procced off. Full incap going out onto Dawkins. K3 getting beat up, and those green bars you talked about, Kiss Me, exist no longer for Team Eclipse.
Yeah, I mean, they can still make this round with a higher health bonus than we saw Team Helheim make the safe room with, but they have to start moving right now. They're going to go ahead and help the Dawkins up. Actually, one comment hitting him. That's going to delay it for another 3 seconds as the pickup has to restart now. So Dawkins, having 1 set of pills left, going to go ahead and pop it on himself. There's Hunter looking like he wants to go for a big DP. Let's see if this Hunter has it in him to actually land this, though. Hunter's going to be in the hands of Thug Life for Helheim. He has been spotted out, but let's see what he can make happen.
Boomer getting a nice tri-boom right there, arcing it over the fence. The Hunter is going for the DP, as you mentioned. Smoker getting a pull in the back onto the health bonus, almost landing the DP right there, but is going to get stumbled by the Boomer. But at the same point in time, two survivors are fast. Their bonus, however, is slow. This Smoker could do some trolling right here to prevent K3 from getting into the safe room, and indeed he's going to try to, spawning up behind, missing the pull though onto the survivors. There are a couple other spawns coming up in the queue right now. Coach trying to get the clear on that Smoker. Indeed he does. This actually could be so close. Oh my goodness. If this bit's going to go down, they close the door in front and actually you're going to take a little bit more damage due to the fact they didn't get inside that safe room. But Doc and Thermir are both fast, and Kiss Me, the score is going to be so close going into map 5. This is going to be insane.
What a
Beautiful
level
going out, and the score is 2,271 to 2,139. This is still just over a 100-point game going into map 5. Oh my goodness.
All right. We got to talk about meta right here. Here's the thing. Holy crap. This is nuts. All right. Ponder me this.
Okay.
If Helheim were to wipe here with this tank, like first tank they wipe, in theory, in fact, I think it would add up. We could literally see Team Eclipse push this tank if it goes back with the forklift and gives them the room. They could literally push outside, hit the button, and that would allow the points to start ticking up. Because it's within that, it's within that range. Literally, if they push that button, that's 200 plus points right there. So Helheim cannot wipe here. If they wipe here, Eclipse can literally be super aggressive, especially if they outside down. And if they push outside into the open area, all they gotta do is push that button. So the button is, well, the button could be the make or break here, depending on how this first tank goes.
Yeah,
that's pretty nuts.
This is insane. It's been exactly the game we predicted, and this is going to be heartbreaking if Eclipse loses, because they have fought so hard in this game. First hit's going to be a Spitter, Charger, Jockey, and a Hunter for Eclipse on the special infected side. Helheim defending their lead on the Survivor. Hit going in. Charger getting a charge right there. Nice double cap landing with that Hunt in the corner as well. Hunter's still not cleared. Great amount of damage on that first hit. And as a matter of fact, Vector is slow because he was being hit by that spit in the corner. An outstanding hit by Eclipse. And the tank is up in the hands of Nagi once again. Kiss me. This is going to be one hell of a finish.
And actually, there's also a tank, or not tank, there's a witch right next to this tank. And if they were to shoot this witch, that would definitely cause a tank to commit. I don't think the tank would actually pass that up. But yeah, let's go and toss this right over to a Team Eclipse Worm. This is a huge tank. And Vector is on the brink. If he gets caught out here by the SI, he could take a quick in cap. No, there's goes his pop for the pills. But regardless, let's just toss it over.
Yeah, do it.
Easy tip.
Nice damage, dude. Did she now 2-punch instead of 3-punch? Cat. Just kidding, that's incorrect.
They got Miro's like running into that bathroom. I don't know where you're gonna spawn the Boomer. I guess when you push him back, you get it from here.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
I'll come from safe room with a charge.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go not first with this. You guys go now.
Let's go.
I can only get
Wow.
one.
Fuck.
What the fudge, dude? That was so messed up. Yo, come to safe from Nagi. Guy in the corner. She's down.
Guy
Safe room, safe room,
In the
safe
safe room, take your time with the punch. There you go. No problem.
double.
Oh yeah, baby! Just like that, massive damage coming out from Nagi, and this could definitely still result in a wipe here, though, because we have two stars completely bleeding out. They're gonna have to pop pretty much every set of pills that they have. One going on a super, one going on a mirror, and yeah, we'll see Coach go for the crown. The jockey just got the scratch. He's gonna go ahead and try to delay the crown here, and that's a nice charge going down with the spit on top of Ellis as well. And the witch does get successfully draw a crown, but Thug Life losing all of his
Look at what
permanent.
they gave up for that. Exactly. They killed the witch, but then the one survivor with the most permanent health got hit. That is beautiful damage off that first tank by Team Eclipse. They sacked the hit to try to get that Boomer in, and the Boomer managed to land on the survivors when the tank was in. He called a support at 3,700 health-ish, and then he was just able to basically work off his caps there that landed along with that horde, and it was a great amount of damage, as we mentioned. Hit coming in. Smoker's trying to go for Nick, not going to land. Smoker is then going to die. Good shutdown right there by Team Helheim on the rest of those special infected, the Hunter and that jockey getting obliterated. This Boomer manages to actually get a boom after walking in, but kiss me. Everybody's bleeding. They only have 2 sets of pills left, including the one in Miro's hand. One more on the stage. This is totally doable for Team Eclipse at this point. They just need to not take as much damage when their survivor at that first tank and get the wipe on Team Helheim as soon as possible here.
The wipe pre-tank here is definitely real, because you're going to see a lot of bleed out happening right now, man. If you just look up at the survivor bars at the top left, they're all just ticking down slowly but surely. One attack coming here though. Hunter Jockey with that smoker working the way in. Nice double cap in the spit. That's going to be a lot of damage. And remember, they're all in full temp. Only 2 set the pills left on them.
Oh
and
my
this
goodness.
is a lot of damage. If they wipe pre-tank here, Eclipse, all they gotta do is make second tank.
Make it to the second tank. Exactly, dude. This is so incredible right here, the way this game has gone. And like I said, Helheim, they really, in my opinion, they really need to make it to the second tank. Like, they need to at least get close enough to give them 2 tanks to work with to shut down Eclipse's survivor. And like I said, Eclipse are giving absolutely all they've got. I think at this point it's really close to where even if they die right now, they will give themselves 2 tanks. We have a hit coming in, Swimmer getting popped, Charger getting shut down as well, Hunter going and managing to land with Super jumping into the spit as well. So that's even more damage going out, but this is very clearly a wipe at the second tank. Kiss me, this is exactly what Eclipse needed to do.
Yeah, and I mean, the scary thing, if you're in Helheim's shoes right now, you have to think about how Eclipse has played every single one of their tanks on the survivor half. They've done amazingly well, and it looks like Nick might be stuck. Oh no, he might have been lagging for a second there. He was getting beat on by a couple common, so that's some free damage going on to him. But we will see the tank coming up now. But going back to what I was saying, Eclipse has played all these tanks incredibly well up to this point. They've shut down pretty much every single tank, only suffering at most a single in-cap. So with that being said, though, a nice boom going out on the survivors. Tank moving his way in here. Smoker getting pulled on the coach up at the top, but it looks like this coach is gonna.
Though. Like,
yeah.
the one tank where Eclipse, yeah, that wipe that came out by Super is what changed this game around. Like, it was all Eclipse to that point until Super got that wipe. And you know what? I would want to see a Super Tank V2 for one of these 2 tanks that Eclipse is going to have to face. Because right now, because Helheim made it to this point, they've guaranteed themselves over a 500-point advantage that Team Eclipse is going to have to deal with.
I actually completely forgot about the super tank for a minute. I forgot the map 3 tank. I was like, wait. Oh, yeah, you're right. Regardless, attack coming in, an incap going out onto Ellis here. Jockey bringing Coach down behind the scaffolding, almost pushing out another incap onto him. But this tank, it's really, the ball's in his court. He can just sit here all day. He has free LOS on the down survivor right now, so he doesn't have anything to worry about. The pickup does go out onto Ellis, though. But once again, with all 4 survivors bleeding out, this is the wipe tank. There's really no other way that you can play this out. And Eclipse, I mean, if they can beat 2 tanks, they're gonna win.
The thing is, I'm reading chat, and it was mentioned people were wondering why we didn't go to a worm. The full reason why I didn't say to go to worm is because I thought that tank was gonna roll right in and wipe them off the 3-boom when they had an end cap, but it didn't do that. So instead, we're still here. Another tri-boom is gonna go out, and the reason that's important, the tank is deciding to play rock when all the survivors were slow. And as Grizz, I think, mentioned in chat, the problem is that because Eclipse didn't send the tank in at that point, they actually let Helheim get like 100 more points or something like that they probably should not have gotten. So if it comes down, it's a game where it could be that close. That's why we didn't go to Worms. I honestly thought it was going to be a wipe right there, but Eclipse is playing a long tank.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. When I saw that tri-boom go out, I thought it was going to be a commit right there. Whereas tank throwing a rock over at the side of the scaffolding, not going to find any target. But regardless, we'll see the survivors pick up their fellow fallen comrades. We have 2 survivors, black and white, those being Super and Thug Life. Thug Life, as I say that, dies off. Next death will be on the Super if there is one to come out. Charger actually latching. That's a double cap, and is that the wipe? That is indeed the wipe, actually. So there goes the wipe out on the Team Helheimer during the second tank. And now what we have to see happen if Eclipse is looking to take this win here, they have to beat both tanks, which really it boils down to how well they take this first tank. If they can actually push out, or not push out, but if they can take minimal damage, maybe 1 in-cap at most, you know, still have 7 sets of pills going into the second tank, it's definitely possible to make this happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think the common rule of thumb here, at least is what I've heard, just in the general, like, mind canon of Left 4 Dead 2, is 2 downs here at most that you can possibly take. Because then you're going to have 2 survivors that are going to have to tank all the pills after that, so 2 in-caps is, I think, the target that Eclipse should look for here. Or, obviously, if they can do better than that and attempt to not take any damage at all, that would be good. But at the same point in time, consider who they're playing against. Helheim, if we were to see a tank that was similar to a no-hitter here in this situation, in this area, I would be absolutely stunned. I think they need to just play it the best they possibly can. But again, that 2 in-cap threshold has been a pretty good determiner of how the second tank then goes. And it's going to be a Thug Life tank for the first tank here. Hunter, Spitter, Jockey, Charger for the first hit. And they shot the witch?
Did she spaz out?
Yes, they shot the witch, and she is now glitching. I can't. That's not a Squirtle. I don't think I don't know if that was intentional, but that is pretty interesting. I think what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to we're gonna have to restart their half of the round because
That's kind of unfortunate, unless Super can spawn a Witch. Because I know he has admin. I think Miro also has admin. Restart map, or restart game from map 1, thank you. Vector's solution. Miro, we're not used to playing against glitches, so can we switch the server? What? Restart this half of the round unless Super can spawn a Witch.
Yeah, so they're gonna have to restart, and then we'll set scores to what, 2139 to 2687.
Yeah, he says he can spawn a Witch though, so we'll see what he does.
Yeah, we'll see exactly how that works. I don't think that was intentional. I think they were just clearing common, and they accidentally. They're asking if I can kick the Witch. Nagi was in that game. Nagi was actually in that game. That's funny. I don't believe they're going to be able to spawn the Witch, because wouldn't that require cheats to be enabled? Oh, never mind. They got it.
Yeah, they can spawn because he has admin, so that bypasses.
Okay, all right, that works.
But yeah, so the round is still live here, guys. Do not worry. We don't have to go switching servers for a half hour. Okay, now we're paused again. I'm not too sure. All right, that was the. I don't even know why we paused.
Getting rid of the HUD.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so that's fine. Everything is okay. They accidentally shot the Witch. We didn't have to see a null score there, and it's gonna be a Hunter, Spitter, Jockey, and a Charger for Helheim on this first hit. Hopefully they don't shoot the Witch again, because that would be awkward. And now the hit is coming in. Jockey Magic land, Charger landing too. They've got the double cap, and they've got the spit. Dawkins is being drugged toward the Witch as well. Good clear coming out, but again, comparable damage, if not just a little bit better for Helheim. Off that first hit, Rock almost landing tank in the hands of Thug Life. Kiss me.
Most certainly. So we'll see if Thug Life can make this the wipe happen. Obviously, his tank wasn't too fruitful in its delivery on the prior map when he did have tank, but we'll see if he can make something big happen on this map. The survivors are actually being really ballsy right now. They're going for chip on this tank. That Rock almost connecting on one of the survivors, but I can't believe they actually went for damage on that. they're still chipping this tank, which is right next to the Witch. We're also, the tank is going to commit, so let's go toss this right over to a team at Helheim Worm.
Do it.
Nice. Get that down. Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Get him. Why? Get it.
Come on. Behind.
One guy at the safe room. Get the safe room guy.
It's okay.
You got it.
Nice.
You fucking got it, mate.
GG, easy. Don't whiff. Oh my god, dog.
This Rochel's dead.
I got it.
Block him, I block him.
I'm gonna get M3 spam. It's Ramirez, he's going to GG easy.
It's a shame that they lost.
Oh.
And we're back from the War Room of Helheim, and that is a heartbreaker. I wasn't gonna pick sides, but that is a heartbreaker. I mean, regardless of who you were rooting for, Eclipse, unfortunately, through their amazing showing in their games, and even through this game, through and through, they will unfortunately not be making their way into the Final 8 of the really big promo tournament number 3. That is really unfortunate.
That was a fantastic tank with the corresponding SI support from Team Helheim. They capitalized on the separation. They had Thug Life going. He got the split. The Smoker got a pull. The Hunter hit and intercept. The Charger also landed. It was a momentary tri-cap, as a matter of fact. And that was a spectacular game. Like, there is no other way to put it. That was just absolutely fantastic play by both teams. And again, as you said, Team Eclipse unfortunately picked as, I think it was the number, I want to say they were number 4 in the tournament, right? No, that was whatever's. Where was Eclipse at? Were they 3?
I believe they were 3, yes. 3 or 5,
I'm checking my
actually.
table. I'm checking my table here. Hold on.
They could be 5.